Hello everyone. So in our previous lecture, we have covered some important topics of the modern history, and now we are going to cover some important topics of the modern history related with the independence movement of the India. Got it? Now let's start. So we will cover the major topics and major movements of Indian history before the independence and the major movements of Indian history after the independence. First one was the Indian independence movement. Okay, moderates and extremists. And here you can see the name of Indian National Congress. Can you see it? Okay, so let's have a look of formation of Indian National Congress. Okay, what was the role of Indian National Congress in the independence movements? And second one, how the Indian National Congress acted after the independence of India. Okay, so first thing was Bombay. Okay, so it was Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, Mumbai, on that time called Bombay, 1885. Remember the venue, remember the city, remember the date. It was the date, it was the venue, it was the city when the Indian National Congress was founded, and the founding members were V.C. Banerjee, and A.O. Hume. Okay, so they both were basically the founding members. Let me write down again their names clearly so that you can understand. First one was W.C. Banerjee. Second one was A.O. Hume. So basically, these were the ones who founded the Indian National Congress in the year of 1885 at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College in Bombay. Okay. But the reason was, what was the motive behind finding the Indian National Congress? Basically, the Indians were demanding Britishers over various things, over various rights, over various responsibilities in the mainstream or in the main government. But one of the such reason of lacking Indians was that there was no political organization at national level. Okay, so basically you can say that from different parts of India, like from north, from west, from south, from east, various parts of India were demanding several demands from the Britishers, but none of them were able or was able to demanded a British in one single voice or in one single demand. Okay, and to nationalize all these demands, basically the Indian National Congress was founded. Okay, so it was all about the foundation of the Indian National Congress. Remember one thing, was founded at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, Bombay in the year of 1885 and was founded by two persons mainly named W.C. Banerjee and second one was A.O. Hume. The first president and the first secretary, or you can call him General Secretary. First president was W.C. Banerjee. First General Secretary was A.O. Hume. So they were basically the founding members and also the president and the general secretary. Got it? Now come to the next point. Here you can see that there are 2 points or the 2 divisions described in the Indian National Congress. First division was the moderates, second one were the extremists. Okay, so let's have a look over them. So now understand these divisions one by one. First one was the moderates. First one were the moderates. Now who was the moderates? Who was the moderate in the Indian National Congress? The moderate was the person who believe in talk. Believe in talk rather than extreme actions. Extreme action. So basically you can call them a persons who believe that we could talk with the British government besides taking extreme actions against them, and by talking the problems could be solved peacefully. Okay, so these were the moderates and their main leaders was number 1 G.K. Gokhale, number 2 Y.C. Banerjee. Let me write down here. Number 1 was G.K. Gokhale. Number 2 was W.C. Banerjee. Number 3 was Dadabhai Nauroji. And number 4 was Madan Mohan Malviya. Okay, so these were the leaders of moderate division, okay, who believe in talking rather than taking extreme action. Got it? Now let's have their time period duration. So they were mainly active from 1885 to 1907. It was their time period when they were mainly active. Got it? For the moderates. Got it? Now let's come to the extremists. First was, who was extremist? Who had low belief in talking, more believe in extreme actions. Got it? So they were basically the persons who believe that we should take an extreme action rather than just talking with the Britishers, because the Britishers would not respect our ideas, would not respect our feelings. They would only respect the actions which we would taken. Got it? So these were the extremists. Now let's have a look over their main leaders who were indulged in the extremist activities. First leader was Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Got it? Second was Lala Lajpat Rai. Third one was Bipin Chandra Pal. Bipin Chandra Pal. Got it? And they all three together famously known as Lal Bal Pal. Lal stands for Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal stands for Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Pal stands for Bipin Chandra Pal. Okay. Later on, they were joined by Aurobindo Ghosh, Okay, Aurobindo Ghosh, A.K. Dutt, A.K. Dutt, and the last one was V.O.C. Pillai, or you can call him V.O.C. Pillai. Okay, so these were the extremist leaders: Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, Aurobindo Ghosh, A.K. Dutt, and V.O.C. Pillai. Got it? And their time period was mainly around 1905 to 1920. Okay, it was a time period for extremists basically. Got it? So here we have finished about the beginning of the Indian National Congress. Thereafter, we also have looked on moderates and the extremists and who were the leaders of these divisions. Got it? Now come to the next part. It was a Subdeshi movement. Actually, what happened in 1905? In 1905, Lord Curzon, who was the Viceroy of India on that time. In 1905, Lord Curzon, who was the Viceroy of India on that time, decided to partition the Bengal. It was the entire Bengal on that time. He decided to break Bengal into West Bengal and East Bengal, which we also call as Bangladesh. Nowadays, before 1971, it was East Pakistan. Got it? And how it was formed, I will tell you later. First of all, just remember one thing, that the Bengal was comprised of West Bengal and East Bengal, presently Bangladesh, also the Assam area, also the area of Assam. Okay, these all areas were combined in Bengal. In 1905, Lord Curzon decided to divide Bengal on account of administrative reform. Basically, what happened, Lord Curzon said that Bengal is too vast and the British government was not able to administrate the entire area. So they decided to divide the area into West Bengal and East Bengal and some of the part as Assam. Got it? And the Indian leaders gave a reason behind this was breakage of Hindu-Muslim unity. And how we could say that? Because the Bengal, let me write down, the Bengal comprised of both Hindu and Muslims. Got it? Western part basically cover Hindus and eastern part basically covers Muslims. Okay, and it was a time when Bengal was the region of nationalist activities against the British government. Okay, to break the unity of Hindu Muslims, they divide Bengal into western part with Hindu majority region and eastern part for Muslim majority region. Okay, and in the year of 1905, at Town Hall, Calcutta. There was a session of Congress going on, and in that session they decided to launch a Swayamprabha movement. To launch a Swayamprabha movement in the year of 1905 at Town Hall, Calcutta. Just write down the venue. Town Hall, Kolkata, year, okay, and the reason behind the Swayamprabha movement. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look how the Swayamprabha movement started. Okay. First of all, the Swayamprabha movement was started with some of the activities like burning of foreign clothes. Okay. Second was avoiding foreign goods. Third was promotion of local brands. Okay. So these were the activities organized in the Swayamprabha movement, like they were burning the foreign clothes to show their anger, to show their protest. Second thing was avoiding foreign goods. Basically, they were avoiding the foreign goods, were not buying them to attack the British economy, because one of their major share or the major portion of produced goods and services were consuming in India. And when the Indians were avoiding to buy this, then the British economy was getting attacked. Okay. And the third was promotion of local brands. Means the local Indian brands which were little bit expensive in comparison with their British counterpart, because there were huge taxes on the Indian products, but there was minimal taxes on the British products. So due to this, the Indian products were little bit expensive. But during the Swayamprabha movement, people were promoting the local brands. Okay. So these were some of the activities going on during Swayamprabha movement. Got it? And how the movement got ended? The Britishers suppressed the movement by force. They also declared that if any merchant and any school, university, and any of the government employer or any other person who was somehow getting benefited by the British government would be identified in participating in the Swayamprabha movement, they all were eliminated. Because of this, the Swayamprabha movement was not getting proper finance. Second reason was there was no proper organization behind the Swayamprabha movement, no proper leadership. Because of this, the Britishers got a chance to suppress the movement. And the third was with no proper guidance, the people lost their direction while organizing the Swayamprabha movement. Got it? So these were the reasons behind ending the Swayamprabha movement. But remember one thing, year 1911, Grand Delhi Darbar, Viceroy was Lord Hardinge. Two major things happened in this ceremony. First, Delhi was become capital. Kolkata was no longer a capital. First thing happened this. Second, Bengal partition was revoked. So two major things happened during Grand Delhi Darbar under Lord Hardinge. First was capital shifted from Calcutta to Delhi. Second was Bengal partition of 1905 was revoked. Got it? Hope you have understand. Now come to the next moment of non-cooperation. Okay. During the First World Wars from 1914 to 1918, the Britishers had an eye on Middle East. And basically on Ottoman Empire. Turkey basically. Okay, the Britishers wanted to capture the Ottoman Empire or the Turkey, and the ruler of Turkey on that time was declared as a Khalifa, the leader of Muslim world. Oh, okay. So in the year of 1918, when the Britishers captured Turkey, okay, and then captured their ruler, which was Khalifa or the leader of Muslim world on that time. Okay, so there was a huge anger against the British Empire and all over the world from the Muslim community. And the same thing was happening in India. They were two brothers named Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. So these were the two brothers who started a non-cooperation, basically named as Khilafat. Not non-cooperation, basically named as Khilafat movement. Khilafat movement against the British government. Got it? Okay. Soon later, in the year of 1920, at Kolkata session, the Indian National Congress, in short the INC, decided to participate. In the Khilafat movement with the name of non-cooperation movement. Okay. So, what were the basic demands of the non-cooperation movements? Let's have a look over them. It was started by the Muhammad Ali and the Shaukat Ali in the name of Khilafat movement against the British Empire, capturing the Khalifa. Later on in the 1920, in the Kolkata session, the Indian National Congress also decided to participate with the name of non-cooperation movement. Their demand was boycott British services. Second, British goods. Third was British school, colleges, courts, and universities. Okay, the basic idea, these are the some of the demands, not the entire demands, but some of the demands which are important from the exam point of view. Remember this. So the basic idea behind the non-cooperation movement was to cut off the British government, and their administration. Okay, so the basic idea behind the non-cooperation movement was this. But what happened? The movement was going good on that time. Various things were happening, and the Britishers were also facing the pressure from the Indian side because they were not able to run their administration smoothly. But what happened on 5 February 1922? There is a place called चौरी चौरा at गोरखपुर, उत्तर प्रदेश. Basically, the people were following the non-violence principle. Okay, they were just only protesting, but around 20 policemen of Chauri Chaura police station at Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh, they shoot down several protesters. They shoot down several protesters who were just protesting non-violently. Okay, and in the anger, police burned the Chauri Chaura police station, in which 20 policemen were burned alive. Okay, and this was a major event. After this, non-cooperation was withdrawn. Let me write down again. Non-cooperation was withdrawn by Gandhiji. Okay, so this was all about the non-cooperation movement, starting to ending. Got it? Now come to our next point. Civil disobedience movement, 1930. Basically, what happened on 26 January 1929, or basically at some places it shows 1930. Okay, these both dates are correct. They never come together in the exam. If they come, then you will get a benefit of doubt marks. Got it? Means whether you select 1929 or 1930, you will get a marks. Got it? On 26 January 1929, or you can say by round off, it was 1930 basically. Okay, so correct it from 26 January 1930, most appropriate date, at Lahore, present day Pakistan. Okay, so on 26 January 1930 at Lahore, on the bank of Ravi River, the Indian leaders under the presidency of Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru declared Poorn Swaraj, or basically you can say complete independence. So that was the day, 26 January 1930 at Lahore, on the bank of Ravi River, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru. The Indian leaders of the Indian National Congress declared the Poorn Swaraj, or the demand for complete independence. Okay, and the Britishers were not happy after seeing this. They played a smart move, and the move was imposition of salt tax. Basically, the British salt merchants wants to import British salt in India. Okay, but to ensure the maximum profitization, the Britishers had to control the domestic salt production. To help the British salt importers, and they were basically exporters. To help the British exporters, the British government imposed a salt law which prohibited manufacturing and processing of salt in India. Okay, so it means that no domestic production would be there for the salt, and due to this, the people had to import the salt, and the Britishers will export the salt from Britain to India. It was the whole idea behind the salt law. Okay, but what happened? Mahatma Gandhi led a Dandi March. It basically called the Dandi March, or you can say the civil disobedience movement. It means that they deny to accept the salt law, and they decided to launch a march to Dandi, Gujarat coast. And after reaching Dandi, he took a wistful salt from coast. Okay, he took a wistful salt from coast to violate the salt law. And Britishers got very, very angry with him. They decided to arrest main leaders of the Congress who were involved in this civil disobedience movement, and also arrested Mahatma Gandhi and sent him to the Yerawadi jail, where he started fasting and denied to eat anything. Okay, so this was all about the civil disobedience movement from 1930 to 1934. But something was happened on that time. And what was that thing? Actually, the Britishers were giving the representations to the Indians in the British Council, or you can say British Indian Council. Okay, so the Britishers were giving the chances to the Indian leaders to come to this council, but the leaders were making troubles for the Britishers in imposing their policies, especially the Khilafat Party, established by C.R. Das. Okay, so they were making the trouble for the British government to impose their various policies, and to get rid of them, the Britishers decided to send Simon Commission in 1927 with 7 members, and the Britishers declared that the Simon Commission was coming to India just because seeing the possibilities to make Indians feel better in British administration. But both the INC leaders and other political party leaders protesting against the Simon Commission. And the reason behind this was no Indian. This entire commission composed of 7 members and none of them was Indian. Due to this, the Indian National Congress leaders along with the various party leaders were protesting against the Simon Commission. Okay, so it was all about the Simon Commission. And one important thing also happened during this time, which was the death of Lala Lajpat Rai. In 1927, during the protesting against the Simon Commission at Lahore, during Lathi charge of police, Lala Lajpat Rai got dead. Okay, which blew a anger in India. Okay. And during this time also, after the civil disobedience movement and the arresting of the Mahatma Gandhi and other leaders, the British Viceroy Lord Irwin organized a meeting at London called Round Table Conference. Called Round Table Conference to discuss the Simon Commission. But Mahatma Gandhi and the Indian National Congress denied to reach there. And because the Congress was the largest party of India on that time, and they were not attending the conference, so the conference was not so successful. And Lord Irwin has to organize it for the second time in the name of Second Round Table Conference. Okay. And to ensure the participation of Gandhi and other National Congress leaders, he made a pact with the Gandhi, famously known as Irwin Gandhi Pact. Irwin Gandhi Pact. Got it? So, what were the demands of the Gandhi Irwin Pact formulated by the Mahatma Gandhi? Number 1, release all leaders. Number 2, release properties of leaders. Number 3, repeal salt law. Number 4, number 4th was withdraw cases. Withdraw cases against leaders. So these were the main demands of the Gandhi Irwin Pact. First was release all the leaders who were captured by the British government except the violent persons who were doing the violence. Second was release properties of the leaders, the properties which were confiscated by the British should be released. Third one was repealing of salt law, which was imposed by the British government. And the fourth one was withdraw all the cases against the leaders running in courts of India. Okay. And after this, the Gandhi was agree. The Gandhi became agree to attend the Round Table Conference. Got it? Now, come to the next movement, which was the Quit India movement. 1942. Okay. What happened in 1939? There was a beginning of war. In Western and Eastern. Mainly you can say Western Europe, Eastern Asia. From Western Europe, there was a partner, USA also, United States of America. And in Eastern Asia, war between Russia and Germany and against Russia and Japan. Okay. So these were basically war details. And this chapter comes in the world history point of view. We will try to cover this in the topic of static GK. Till then, remember that the Western Europe was fighting with each other. USA was also participating. And Eastern Asia, mainly Japan, was also participating in this war. Okay, and the British government was also participating in this war. Okay, so the war began in 1939, and to ensure the proper coordination of the Indians soldiers and to avoid any mass protest from the Indian side in 1940, Britishers made a August offer. And who was Viceroy? Linlithgow. Okay. In August offer, they offered dominus status. Simply means that after the war, you can get a right of running your government except three matters: defense, communication, and then foreign affairs. Okay, so the Britishers were agreed in August offer, which was come under Linlithgow, that you would get a dominant status, means that you can run your own government, but the government would not be able to take our decisions over defense, communication, and foreign affairs. Okay, after the failure of the August offer, because August offer was declined by the Indians in 1942. In 1942, Cripps mission under Stafford Cripps was sent to India by the British government, and the Cripps mission also offered a dominus status, but only after war, and no one was aware about the fact that when would the war occur or when would the war end. So that's why the Cripps mission was also denied, and the Mahatma Gandhi made a statement post dated check on crumbling bank. Okay. So basically the Cripps mission was also denied because they were offering the dominant status after the war, and no one was aware about the ending of the war, when would the war ended. Okay, so various Congress leaders and the other political party leaders denied the Cripps mission statement, and also Gandhi made a statement over Cripps mission like it was a post-dated check on crumbling bank. Okay, thereafter, in the year of 1942, another mission was sent by the British government named as Cabinet Mission, which was under Patrick Lawrence, thereafter Alexander and Stafford Cripps. These three were the British cabinet members. Okay, and these three were the members of the cabinet mission: Patrick Lawrence, who was the chairperson, then the Alexander, and the Stafford Cripps. These missions stated the Indian would have a complete government, self-government basically. They would have a constitutional assembly to make their own constitution, and the constituent assembly, which would be responsible for making of the constitution, had had 389 members, out of which 293 were coming from British India, the territories which were under the British by election, and 93 were from Sorry, they were 292 through princely states. Okay, and they were by nomination, or they will be nominated by the prince or by the ruler of that area. Okay, so the Quit India movement was started after the Cripps mission because the Britishers were not clearing the fact that whether they would be agreed to give India complete independence. And in response of Quit India mission or the Quit India movement, there would be a cabinet mission under which they declare complete independence for India and the own constitution, which would be made by the Constituent Assembly. And here I have told you the composition of the Constituent Assembly. Got it? Now come to the next point. Partition and independence in 1947. Basically, during this time, there were two main parties. First one was Muslim League, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Second was Indian National Congress, Mr. Gandhi and Mr. Nehru. Okay, so Jinnah decided that the Hindu and Muslims could not live together on the same land, and they were deciding that we should make a separate country named as Pakistan. Whereas Gandhi and Nehru declared that both could live on the same land and we should not make any separate state. Got it? But after the completion of the war, after Second World War basically, after Second World War completion in 1945, it was very much clear that the British would leave India soon because they were heavily damaged during the war and they would not be able to sustain the India for long. And on 16th August 1946, after demanding the British government and after discussing with the Indian National Congress, when the Muslim League found that there is no chance of separate state, they decided to get a separate state by a violence, which we call communal violence. On 6 August 1946, Jinnah made appeal to the Muslims that we should fight for our rights, and with this appeal, the communal violence got started. Okay, and that's how during the independence, we also had to face a painful time of partition in which the two states were decided. First state was India. Second state was Pakistan, also the East Pakistan, which got liberated in the year of 1971 through Indo-Pak War of 1971 and declared as a national state. Declared as an international state of Bangladesh. Got it? So this was all about the partition. Now, let's have a look over formation of the Republic 1950. As I had told you that during the cabinet mission, it was decided that India would run its governance by its own constitution. Okay, so today India runs its government by the constitution, which is the longest written document in the world, which is the longest written constitution of the world. Okay, and it states India as sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. Now let's have a look over them. Sovereign means that Indian government has its own government. None of the government. Let me write down again. Now let's understand them one by one. First one was sovereign, means we are no longer colony of any other country. It means that India has its own government, its separate government, okay, which is elected in every 5 years. In every 5 years, okay. First thing was sovereign. Second thing was social, means in India there is equal opportunities. There is equal opportunities for everyone to grow, and social, economical and political liberty for everyone. Okay. Thereafter, next one was secular, means no religion. Simply means that Indian government has no religion, and also Indian government does not support any particular religion. Second one was democratic. Simply means that Indian government is elected in every 5 years. Got it? So we have a democratic government. And the third one was, sorry, not third one, the last one was republic, means no monarch or no king. The head of India is president, which is elected, not nominated or not selected on the birth basis. Got it? So that's how we had made a constitution, and also various provisions in our constitution, and we would also learn about the national institutions. National institutions which worked over Indian constitutions. Okay. Now let's have a look further. Nehruvian era. Once India got independent, we had to choose our prime minister, and we chose Jawaharlal Nehru as the first prime minister of India, who focused on economic planning, industrialization and promotion of education and science. We could understand them by one. First one was economic planning. Economic planning simply means 5-year plans. And what do you mean by 5-year plans? 5-year plans simply state that resources should use as per requirements. Okay. And the planning commission was there. The planning commission was there, which were responsible to make a 5-year plan. The 5-year plan simply means the plans in which the resources would be allocated on the basis of different requirements, and all the targets should be completed in just 5-year time span. Okay. Second was industrialization. Actually, during the independence time, we had some industries like the iron and steel and coal industries. After the independence, India focused on the heavy industries first, because we had a heavy industry on that time. So we promoted these industries. Second, and the last one was the education and science, like the formation of the IITs and the formation of the IIM and the AIMS. Okay. So these were the main institutions opened during Nehruvian era. Got it? So now come to the next point. After independence, India had to fight various wars. Okay. You just need to remember the timelines of the war. First war, the first main war you can say was it 1962 with China. Second main war was 1965 with Pakistan. Third main war was 1971 again with Pakistan. Last main war was 1999 again with Pakistan. Okay. Now let's have a look over their outcome. First, 1962 China War. We lost Ladakh territories to China. Ladakh territories to China. 1965, we defeated Pakistan. Lahore was captured, which was the important city of Pakistan, but later it was returned to Pakistan. 1971 war, Bangladesh was created and the East Pakistan got separated, and 99 war was fought in Kargil, famously known as Kargil War. Okay, so we have finished about the war and their outcomes. Now, Green Revolution. After independence, the India was facing a challenge in the production of the food grains, and we had a shortage of food. So during the 1960s to 1970s, we decided to launch a program known as Green Revolution, in which we used high yielding seeds. Okay. About the Green Revolution and the White Revolution, we would learn about the static GK part. Just remember one thing, the timeline and the things we use on that time. Also, in the static GK part, I will tell you about the package program. Okay. So, in today's lecture, we have finished about the Indian modern history. In our next lecture, we would begin with the geography, and when we finish the general awareness and when we will start the static GK part, I will tell you about these things which I am leaving here, like the Green Revolution, like the arrival of Europeans, and like the various battles and like the various economic policies. Till then, thank you.